In a world where every move matters, the future belongs to those who see beyond the obvious. Coupled with the power of compelling insights, bold perspective, impactful reporting, and youthful energy, BusinessLine delivers the gold standard of business journalism. With sections like chart gazing, do the derivatives, and market radar that bring you unmatched credibility and an in-depth understanding of the markets. We do not just report the news. Our in-house financial analysts and experts decipher it and deliver insights you can act on. We are the only business paper that provides an in-depth coverage on agriculture and commodities markets. Apart from crucial sectors like economy, banking, automotive, IT, and more. You could be a businessman, CEO, thought leader, seasoned investor, C-suite executive, policy maker, bureaucrat, or an aspiring entrepreneur. Our expert analysis and insights empower you to make informed decisions that drive success. Our Sunday special 12-page feature portfolio provides timely alerts and actionable advice on stocks, bonds, FDs, mutual funds, and more. It has been the trusted source of information for smart investors for years. With dedicated sections like Corporate File, Brand Line, Logistics, Spark, Clean Tech, and various others, we offer comprehensive view of the business landscape. Our opinion and analysis section, featuring thought leaders and industry experts, delivers perspectives that challenge conventional thinking and inspire new ideas every day. With a robust digital presence through our website and app, we engage a vast and loyal readership, delivering credible business journalism anytime, anywhere. With a series of industry and consumer connect initiatives, our curated events and podcasts bring the business world closer to the audience. For more than 3 decades, we've led the charge in business journalism, spotlighting the transformative efforts that shape the Indian economy. Stay ahead, stay informed, stay empowered. BusinessLine, where India turns to for clarity, insight, and success.
ऐ भारत हम चल पड़े किस जुनून किस शान से, जन्नत नुमा कश्मीर से आसाम के बागान से, दिल्ली का लहड़पन लिए यूपी के खलिहान से, महाराष्ट्र से गुजरात से कर्नाटक से राजस्थान से, तब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से। जय हो विजय हो देश हो विदेश हो जय के हो। जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से, जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से।
जेके टायर, देश का टायर।
Check. This is my temple, this is my mental peace sanctuary. The one thing I can't do without, you better hear me. Can't do without.
The ultimate biking experience is incomplete without Servo 40 Extra from Indian Oil. Servo 40 Extra from Indian Oil. Can't do without it.
और क्या चल रहा है?
मामा, मैं तो ना सोशल मीडिया पे वीडियोस देखकर ही शेयर्स खरीदती हूँ। टेंशन ही खत्म।
क्या बात है? लो, मेरी फेवरेट मिर्ची की चटनी खाओ।
हाय, इतनी देगी? आप खाओ, मुझे सूट नहीं करती।
वाह चतुराइन। अच्छा, तुम्हें किसी और का टेस्ट सूट नहीं होता, तो किसी और का इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान सूट हो जाता है?
मिस्टर माने बड़े सयाने अपनी सूझबूझ की ही माने। तान धीम तान तन दिन धीम तान
Hello, everybody. Warm welcome, whoever you are, from wherever you are and whenever you are watching live or until the end of time. Welcome to another regional round of the 21st annual edition of JK Tyre presents the Hindu Business Line Cerebration Quiz 2024, powered by Indian Oil Corporation in association with BSc University partner Amity University, Bengaluru. And I am your quizmaster, Ajay Punya, bringing Indian corporate quizzing's most competitive conventions to you virtually. In its preliminary rounds that lasted over half a month, over 3,500 corporate executives, business professionals, B-school students, and MBA aspirants participated from all over India. We're here today at Hyderabad for the third game of our regional rounds, and going by previous standings, arguably the most competitive of its segments. For flaunting their phenomenal knowledge today, they stand a chance to qualify for the national final that takes place on the 20th October at the BSc in Mumbai. And once there, they battle for the most coveted intellectual title with a handsome prize money worth rupees 1.5 lakhs. There's first prize of rupees 75,000, second prize of rupees 50,000, and third of rupees 25,000. Let's call upon our Hyderabad finalists now. Number one on the list is someone who, interestingly enough, has stood second in the previous three editions. But as fate would have it, twice he got the opportunity to be in the final. But today, I am certain he'd like to have fate in his own hands by getting rid of the Mr. Runner-Up tag. He is Naveen Kumar from Sai Mitra Constructions. In the Hyderabad final last year, back again this year, he is Himanshu Verma from SAIL. Following him, number 3 on the list is the title reclaimer from 2022 at Hyderabad. This is Adarsh Mahapatra from AIMS, Bhubaneswar. Then at number 4, it's the return of the second runner-up in Hyderabad's 2023. He is Ayman Ali from SAIL Bhilai. Our penultimate participant comes back in the Hyderabad final after a year's gap. He is Surya Prakash from Indian Bank. And finally, the 6th name on the list is a debutant at Cerebration. This is Pankaj Jindal from Accordion India. So these are the 6, 5 of the 6 having been here before, but what they've learned from the past is what they'll apply today, and that will count for their tomorrow. While they make themselves comfortable with that thought, let's encourage them with some words of wisdom from the pillar of strength of Cerebration, Mr. Raghuveer Srinivasan, editor, BusinessLine. Sir, please.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Greetings from BusinessLine. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you to the regional rounds of the 21st edition of the Hindu BusinessLine Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2024. We are thrilled to have so many brilliant minds competing in this prestigious event. First, I'd like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to each one of you for making it this far. The response we received during the preliminary rounds has been nothing short of overwhelming. This year, we received over 3,500 entries from professionals across various sectors, showcasing the incredible diversity and talent that exists within the corporate world today. Your enthusiasm and passion for knowledge are what makes this quiz so special. The Hindu BusinessLine Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2024 has always been a platform that brings together sharp minds from the business, corporate, and business schools to engage in a battle of wits and intellect. It's not just about winning, but about celebrating the spirit of inquiry and continuous learning that drives our professional journeys. Today, you will face challenging and thought-provoking questions that will test your acumen, awareness of current affairs, and analytical thinking. I encourage all of you to give it your best shot, enjoy the experience, and make the most of this exciting opportunity to connect with like-minded professionals from across your city and the country. I'd also like to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to our partners, without whom this event would not have been possible. A big thank you to them. They are JK Tyres, Indian Oil, Bombay Stock Exchange, and Amity University. Your support is invaluable, and we are really grateful for your contributions in making this 21st edition a grand success. I'd also like to thank our wonderful quizmaster, Ajay Punia, who has been with us for several years now doing this quiz. He never fails to bring out the best in our participants. With that, let's get started, and may the best team win. Best of luck to every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And now I would request Professor Dr. D. Subakar, Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Bengaluru, and Dr. Sali P.S., Vice President, Ritnan Balved Education Foundation, to take the stage and address our participants.
Welcome to Amity University Bengaluru's world-class future-ready campus. We are here to transform the educational landscape by shaping minds and driving innovation. We offer 21 UG and PG programs in engineering, management, biotechnology, behavioral sciences, pharmacy, law, and design disciplines. Innovation is woven into the student-centric, flexible academic system that encourages multidisciplinary learning and learning by doing. We provide a campus where the students feel comfortable with a conducive learning environment and a blend of academics and extracurricular activities.
At Amity University Bengaluru, we are shaping tomorrow's leaders. Our curriculum blends academic excellence with real-world experience, fostering critical thinking and ethical decision-making. Through industry partnerships, hands-on projects, and leadership workshops, we empower our students to lead with confidence and integrity. Our faculty, combining academic and practical expertise, guide students to excel in their fields. At Amity, we are not just educating the students, we are creating future leaders who will make a significant impact on society.
Thank you, sirs. Now, a moment of heartfelt gratitude for our partners who made this council, the Hindu BusinessLine Cerebration 2024 possible. Presenting partner, JK Tyre. It's powered by Indian Oil. It's brought to you in association with BSE, University partner, Amity University, Bengaluru. Thank you to each and every one of you. All right then, participants. From here, the distance you need to cover is of 4 rounds. Luck, of course, will play its role in both directions in this quiz. The bad, however, will not be dwelled on, and the good will be seized in abundance. Let's go wild straight at the start. It's round number 1. It's called Wildcard. In this round, I'll be giving you 4 questions, each with 2 clues on the buzzer. If you hit the buzzer, I will ask you to give me a response. There is 1 buzzer per participant per question across the 2 clues, so you can't keep repeatedly hitting the buzzer over and over again on the same question. If you give me a wrong answer on the first clue, I will give you provisional negative of -5. But I will ask you whether you want to play the wild card or not. If you want to play the wild card, I'll show you another clue. So that's the wild card, the second clue. If you then give me a wrong answer, that's another -5. So -5 and -5 will become a -10. But if you say that you want to play the wild card, but you get the answer correct, so -5 and a +5 will become 0. If, however, you decide against playing the wild card, I'll give you your -5 and that's it. we'll move on to somebody else who's on the buzzer and we'll repeat the exercise with them. If you give me a wrong answer on the wild card, then I will take it to the next player on the buzzer and they'll respond for +5 and -5. If that's clear, we'll start with the first question coming up on your screen now. First published in 1980, this French satirical newspaper's name translates to The Sapper's Candle and had 2 lakh copies produced this year for 4.9 euros each. My question is, when is it published? On the buzzer is Adarsh.
Yeah, I'll say April 1st, April Fool's Day.
April 1st, April Fool's Day. I'm afraid that is incorrect, Adarsh. Do you want to play the wild card?
Yeah, I'll play the wild card.
All right, here's the wild card. It has published 12 editions, with the most recent edition being published earlier this year as per schedule.
I'll say during the elections, French elections, French general elections.
I'm afraid that's incorrect. That's another -5, so that's a -10, Adarsh. Question goes to Aman.
I'll take a guess. Is it leap years? 2022.
That is correct. That's the answer. It's published every leap day. So starting 1980, there have been 12 leap days. So this is a newspaper. It's a satirical newspaper that comes in every leap day. That's a lovely answer there, Aman. That gets you 5 points. And fortunately, Adarsh, for taking a couple of negatives, I'll have to give you a -10. So that's 2 wrong answers from you already. But there's a long way to go. I'm sure you'll make a comeback. We'll move on to the next question. Here's number 2. Being concerned with significant wastage, this insurance officer from Travancore ironed out what solution in the early 20th century that was patented and shared with Europe and Japan. On the buzzer is Naveen.
All right, so this is the Jason tab which you see on the Indian Railways commodes, the on the wash basins and all, like the tab, the self-closing tab.
Okay. Yeah. And my second clue. One would have likely encountered a solution during train journeys across India. That's something that was covered as part of Naveen's answer. That is indeed correct. These are the Jason water taps, right? So those, that's why the question said ironed out, right? So they're made of iron and they close themselves. That was Mr. J.P. Subramanya Iyer. It's a lovely answer there, Naveen. That gets you 10 points. Very good. We'll now move on to our next question. Here's number 3. Earlier this year, on the 75th anniversary of the X Distillery, a special edition whiskey was launched with 2 bottles made available at the Hyderabad duty free for 5 lakh rupees per bottle. Doesn't look like anyone's trying, so we'll move on to the second clue. This toponymous weapon of choice of street thugs and characters in negative roles and films has this statue dedicated to it last year. Shares the same name. On the buzzer is Adarsh.
I'll say Kukri.
Is incorrect. That's another negative, Adarsh. We'll take it to Aman.
Say Rampur.
That is correct. Indeed, that's Rampur of Radico Khaitan, and that's the Rampuri, the churi that you often see in films gone by. That's well done to Aman, gets you 5 points. And unfortunately, Adarsh, that's another negative. So that's the third negative you've taken. So -5 for you. We'll move on to our final question for round number 1. By early 20th century, telegraph gained the ability to multiplex. This allowed newspapers to spawn and flourish across the US. Helping with this was a device called the teletype that could not only distribute messages but also send them. This idea further evolved from the 1867 creation of Watt by an American telegraph company operator, which was one of the first usage of the technology to produce text. And in fact, just 4 years later, Edison improved upon it significantly and patented it. Doesn't look like anybody's... Okay, Naveen has shown interest. Yes, Naveen.
Okay, I'm just guessing, is it ticker tape?
Is it ticker tape? All right. My follow-up clue was this. That is indeed correct. It is stock ticker or ticker tape. Absolutely. Edison, who generally really enjoyed improving upon other people's ideas. He created this machine because of the fact that it could multiplex. Multiplex here means, and that is also the origin of the term multiplex, essentially spreading multiple pieces of information at once on the same line, because otherwise there's a lot of delay in terms of information reaching from one part of the country to a different part of the country, and of course the world as well. So the ticker tape actually made this possible, and those symbols that you see on various stock exchanges have their origin from this device. That's a lovely answer there, Naveen. That gets you 10 points. So that is indeed the end of round number 1. A couple of them already in business. The others, I'm sure, will open shop too, but when the action resumes on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
दीक्षित बोल रहा था इस कंपनी के शेयर्स खरीद लो, बहुत मुनाफा होगा।
सर, ये दीक्षित ने रिसर्च किया है?
आई डोंट थिंक सो।
हाँ, फिर कोई ठोस डेटा होगा उसके पास।
नो मिस्टर माने, सो व्हाट? टिप नहीं दे सकता क्या? हाँ?
सर, ना डेटा है ना रिसर्च है, फिर तो टिप उसे वेटर को ही देनी चाहिए।
नाइस वन। राइट यार।
मिस्टर माने बड़े सयाने, एरो गैरो की ना माने।
ऐ भारत हम चल पड़े किस जुनून किस शान से, जन्नत नुमा कश्मीर से, आसाम के बागान से, दिल्ली का लहड़पन लिए यूपी के खलिहान से, महाराष्ट्र से, गुजरात से, कर्नाटक से, राजस्थान से, तब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से। जय हो विजय हो, देश हो विदेश हो, जय के हो। जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से, जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से।
जेके टायर, देश का टायर।
Welcome back. As time passes by, a partnership looks good when it endures, just like Cerebration's partnership with the presenting partner, JK Tyre. This is a competition highlighted by the friendships that our contestants make with each other. Now is that time. On to round number 2 now. It's called Ride Together with JK Tyre. In this round, I'll be giving a question to each one of you. So you have at least, you have more than one question. So 2 questions in which you don't need to press the buzzer. And those will be questions where you're either the direct player or the paired player. If you're the direct player, I'll give you a question. You give me an answer. I won't declare whether that's correct or not. I'll ask your paired player whether he accepts or rejects or passes. Depending on what the paired player says, I'll distribute or take away points. If you gave a right answer, you get 10, and the paired player accepts, he gets 5. If the paired player rejects, he gets a -5. On the flip side, if you give me a wrong answer and the paired player accepts, both of you get a -5. Question goes on the buzzer. 2 different players can attempt on the buzzer +5 and -5. And if you reject as a paired player, if you reject the wrong answer by the direct player, you are more than welcome to correct it. If you do that, you get 10 points and the direct player will get a -5. Right? So that's how it works. Just one very important element, and that is, because there is a negative attached to a wrong answer for both the direct and the paired player, you both have the privilege of passing the question. But that's not a privilege that players on the buzzer have. I've paired you up on the basis of how you've been assigned the seating order. So Naveen will be paired with Himanshu, Adarsh will be paired with Ayman, and Surya and Pankaj will be paired with each other. First question will be for Naveen. And so Naveen and Himanshu, I'll request you to keep the buzzers aside and switch on your keep yourselves unmuted. Others, you're on the buzzer. So the remaining 4 participants, all of you are on the buzzer. My first question coming up for Naveen, here it is. Identify this CEO currently having a great run who once used his Wheel of Fortune winnings to buy a go-kart. Naveen, 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm passing it.
You'll pass. You'll pass to Himanshu. Himanshu, do you have an answer?
No, I'll also pass.
All right. We'll go to Pankaj, who's the only player on the buzzer. Pankaj, what's your answer?
Just taking a guess, is it Sam Altman from OpenAI?
Sam Altman. I'm afraid it's not Sam Altman, Pankaj. I'll have to give you a negative. Having a great run in Formula One Constructors Championships for the current season. Does anybody want to take a guess? Who's leading the Constructors Championship at this point?
Elon Musk.
No, there's no Elon Musk in Formula One. Okay, this is Zach Brown, the CEO of McLaren. Both Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris are enabling McLaren to do wonders. They're leading the Constructors' Championship. So this is Zach Brown, who himself was a racer earlier, and very early in his days, he once participated in Wheel of Fortune, and whatever he won, I think he won about some $3,000. He decided to buy a go-kart. Right. Unfortunately, a negative to Pankaj only in this question. So we'll move the next question now to Himanshu and Naveen. You're paired alongside him. Other 4 players on the buzzer. Here's my question. In a fairly predictable move, since it accounts for 70% of its orders, part supplier Spirit Aerosystems was recently acquired by Boeing for $4.7 billion. Spirit was originally formed in 2005 as a separate entity when a Canadian investment firm bought the Kansas division of which company? Himanshu, this is yours. Himanshu, no answer?
No.
There's no answer. Time's up. Naveen, do you have an answer?
Pass.
Passing. We'll take it to Eman. Eman on the buzzer. +5 and -5.
Fairfax. Just press it accidentally. I pressed it accidentally. Sorry.
Well, I'll have to give you a negative. I can't accept that as a reason. So that's a wrong answer. So essentially, it's a homecoming for Spirit Aerosystems. They were originally part of Boeing, and then they left them, and then Boeing had to buy them again for $4.7 billion. So it's a homecoming of Spirit Aerosystems back into the Boeing fold. Fortunately, that's a -5 to Eman. There's no points to either Naveen or Himanshu. We'll move on to the next pair, and that's going to be Adarsh and Eman this time. So Adarsh goes first. Eman, you paired with him, and then we'll reverse the order. The other 4 players on the buzzer. Here's your question, Adarsh. As per a 1934 Act, which organization does not own the gold in its storage, but serves as its guardian at no charge but certificates to the local government and gesture of goodwill to other nations? Others, 3 seconds.
Yeah, I'll guess the Swiss bank.
Okay. Eman, accept or reject? He says Swiss bank. You're muted.
I'll pass. I'll pass.
You'll pass, and you will pass well because I was incorrect. Adarsh, that's another negative your way. We'll take the question to Surya.
It's RBI, Reserve Bank of India.
I'm afraid that's also incorrect. That's a -5, Surya. Question goes to Pankaj.
Pressed it accidentally. Is it European Central Bank?
Not the European Central Bank. That's a -5, Pankaj. If you had to take a third guess, but there are only 2 buzzers allowed, what other entity would you have chosen?
Fed.
Not RBI, not ECB.
Fed.
Fed. That is correct. This is the Fed, is what I was looking for. All the gold that's stored in Fort Knox. Right. So that was the answer. Unfortunately, three of you getting negatives. Adarsh, Surya, and Pankaj. All right. Next question to Eman, and Adarsh, you're paired with him. My question to you, Eman, is the Epson printer that you see on the left was an example of what 2-word type of printer? The most common one used in the 70s and 80s, but now largely obsolete, which created characters by striking an ink ribbon with pins like these railway tickets. 2-word name.
I'll say is it inkjet?
Okay. Passes to others. She says inkjet.
I will reject.
Okay. And you want to change it to something else?
Yeah, I want to say dot matrix.
That is correct. That's the answer that I was looking for. Unfortunately, Eman, that is incorrect. So that's a -5. And that was the Epson MX80, which was a very well-known, very popular dot matrix printer. So that's 10 points to others. So collecting some positives, trying to get to 0 first after those big bundle of negatives that others took. So 10 points others, -5 to Eman. We'll move on to our final pair, and that's going to be Surya and Pankaj in that order. Surya, first question is going to be for you, so I'll request you to please unmute yourself. Okay.
Yes.
Pankaj, you paired alongside. Others on the buzzer. In 2022, JK Tyre introduced two new range of SUV tires, Ranger XA and Ranger HPE. While XAT is designed to handle extreme terrains, HPE is designed to cater to what fast-growing category of vehicles?
Pass.
Passing, Pankaj?
I'll say EVs, electric vehicles. Probably E stands here for electric.
That is exactly what E stands for. That is correct. Absolutely. That's well done, Pankaj. Gets you 10 points. And Surya, for passing, you don't get anything. So the fact that you didn't know, well done on not taking a shot at it. So at least you've avoided negatives. But well done, Pankaj. You collected a few negatives. So you were desperately in search for positives as well. I'll give you one more opportunity, Pankaj. This time you get a direct question. And Surya, you paired alongside. Here's your question, Pankaj. Everybody else on the buzzer. One theory for why people love the smell of benzene in gasoline is memory. The connection between scent and memory is called Proust phenomenon, after Marcel Proust, the famous novelist, who described the memory of childhood evoked by the smell of what? Another way to answer this question, in the song Evai Evai, Amitabh Bhattacharya wrote, "This was what the boy became." Three seconds, Pankaj.
I'll pass.
Passing, Surya. Nothing.
Pass.
Passing goes to Eman on the buzzer.
Biscuit. I don't know. Chai mein duba biscuit is said, so I don't know.
Is correct. That's the answer. Absolutely. As the lyrics goes, Mare dil gulati puche why chai mein duba biscuit ho gaya. Main to evai mein lut gaya. Right. So that's a lovely answer there, Eman. I'm guessing those 15 seconds you took to sort of recall the lyrics.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Eventually, what the boy became was chai mein duba biscuit or biscuit dipped in tea. Back to the OG part of the question, which was what the novelist Marcel Proust said, that, why people enjoy the smell of gasoline is because of memory. And he sort of compared it with, the smell of biscuit dipped in tea. Right? That is what I was looking for. It's a lovely answer there, Eman. That gets you 5 points. Yeah, you were on the buzzer. And nothing, of course, to Pankaj and Surya. Well, that is that. Not for no ever reason was the round sketched for such partnerships to flourish, just like Cerebration's partnership with our presenting partner, JK Tyre. At the half-mark stage, the players have marked their presence on the scoreboard. That and more on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
हाँ, तेरी भी बात एकदम करेक्ट है। ये देख माने, 2 महीने में पैसा डबल। मैं तो इसी स्टॉक में पैसा लगाऊंगा।
लकी, यार तेरा वो 7 दिन में जवान करने वाला फेस पैक दिखा ना।
क्या बकवास कर रहे हैं? कुछ भी।
क्यों? जब तेरा स्टॉक 2 महीने में पैसा डबल कर सकता है, तो लकी का फेस पैक 7 दिन में जवान नहीं कर सकता? हाँ?
राइट है।
मिस्टर माने बड़े से आने, अब ना फंसना किसी बहाने।
Check, this is my temple, this is my mental peace sanctuary. The one thing I can't do without, you better hear me.
The ultimate biking experience is incomplete without Servo 40 Extra from Indian Oil. Servo 40 Extra from Indian Oil. Can't do without it.
Right. Welcome back. It's a competition headlined by the consistency of the Hyderabad contestants. For now, on the scoreboard, the struggle is real, and so will be the joy post-victory. For now, in business, in Naveen from Sai Mitra, leading the list with 20 points, and hands on head for now for the others. For we have Eman on 5, Pankaj on 0, so is Himanshu, Surya on -5, and with both big negatives early on in the quiz and some respite towards the end, Adarsh still struggling with a score of -10. But there is a lot to play for and a lot to play with. So things can change, and they will when we offer premium points in our penultimate round. Coming up now, it's called Indian Oil Super 8. In this round, I'll be giving you 8 questions, which progressively get difficult. And that's also something that you can figure out with the points that are on offer. 10 seconds of time per question. 3 different players will be allowed to hit the buzzer. Questions will, of course, get progressively difficult, and so will the rewards, which go higher with difficulty level increasing. First 3 questions, 5 points. Next 3 questions, 10. And the final 2 questions for 15. There's a flat -5 for a wrong answer on the buzzer. All questions coming up one by one on your screen, starting with question number 1 on your screen now. Earlier this year, IOCL partnered with the energy division of which Japanese conglomerate to explore the potential for producing lithium-ion battery cells within India? On the buzzer is Pankaj.
I'll take a guess. Panasonic
is correct. Indeed, it was Panasonic Energy. It's a lovely answer there. Pankaj gets 5 points. Well done. We'll now move on to the next question. That's also going to be for 5 points. Here's question number 2. What kind of worker is defined by a 3-letter word for a person who performs work or participates in a work arrangement and earns from such activities outside of traditional employer-employee relationship? On the buzzer is Pankaj again.
Is it gig, GIG, gig worker?
Is correct. Indeed, gig worker. That's well done. Back-to-back answers from Pankaj. That's another 5-pointer for you. We'll now move on to the next question. This is the last of the 5-pointers. Here's question number 3. The presence of a certain hormone in the venom of this reptile, which is similar to one found in humans, led to the creation of a drug that is sold in 2 distinct injections by which alliteratively named company? Which alliteratively named company? On the buzzer is Adarsh. Adarsh? That's no answer coming from Adarsh. I'm afraid I'll have to give you a negative. The answer that I was looking for is Novo Nordisk. So both the Wegovy and Ozempic, both of them are essentially manufactured by Novo Nordisk. And this is the Gila monster, whose extendin 4 is very similar to the GLP-1 hormone. And from there you get the drug, which is semaglutide, which forms components of the Wegovy and Ozempic. That's a -5, unfortunately, to Adarsh. And we'll take a brief pause here because I'll request Adarsh if you can switch on your video. I think he's disconnected. So please bear with us. Just give us a moment before we move on to the next question. Right. I think he's back. Okay. We'll move on. Just let's organize Adarsh's seating. Yes. Let's move on to the next question. So now we move on to 10-pointer questions. 3 10-pointer questions coming up. We'll increase the difficulty slightly. Here's question number 4. With an area covering over 1 million football pitches, which country, home to about 1/3 of the continent's biodiversity, and 1 in 3 species under protection, is the most mined country in Europe? On the buzzer is Surya. Surya, let's have your answer for 10 points.
Is it Spain?
It's not Spain, unfortunately, Surya. That's a -5 to you. And there's nobody else on the buzzer after you. The answer is fairly obvious once when you know what it is. The reasoning, of course, it is Ukraine with the 2014 and the 2022 interventions by Russia. So it became the most mined country. It's a -5 to Surya. We'll move on to the next question. Here's number 5. That's also going to be for 10 points. Until about 70 years ago, what neurotransmitter in the brain was just 3,4-dihydroxyphenethylamine, a chemical found in the body that early 20th century scientists guessed had something to do with heart rate and blood pressure. It's only in 1952 that the chemical got its snappier name that we now know it by. On the buzzer is Eman.
I think it's sildenafil, or popularly known as Viagra, for heart rate and blood pressure.
Is incorrect, Eman. That's a -5. Question goes to Adarsh.
This is dopamine.
Dopamine, absolutely. This is the snappy name that we now know it by, but otherwise it's 3,4-dihydroxy and whatever else it was. So that's +10 to Adarsh. Unfortunately, a -5 to Eman. Okay, so that negative earlier, Adarsh now gets a +10. Here's the 6th question. That's also going to be for 10 points. Coming up. What rhyming term is used for such a chart, which is most famously used by the Federal Open Market Committee of the US for its quarterly interest rate projections? It is of 2 types, the Wilkinson one on the left and Cleveland one on the right. What rhyming name is used for such a chart type? Looks like nobody's showing interest on the buzzer. The answer that I was looking for, it was pretty evident. That's something that you could make out from the chart, from the visual. This is called the dot plot. All right, it's called the dot plot chart type. No points to anybody. And we will now up the ante a little, notch the difficulty level a little more. And in return, we'll offer 15 points apiece for 2 questions that are coming up. Here's question number 7. Until 2007, the creation by the picture on the left was the default. Until January this year, a word derived from the precision instrument in the middle was the default. And now it is a Californian town that is marked with the map on the right. What default am I talking about? You don't have to individually identify each element, but if you can tell me, where are all these defaults? Until 2007, until 2024, and since then. Nobody's answering. It's something that perhaps all of you may have used. The answer that I was looking for. So the one on the left was the Times from the UK. The one in the middle is a caliper. So anybody has an answer? Not for points.
MS Word font.
That is correct. The default Microsoft Office fonts. That was the Times New Roman, the Calibri that comes from Caliper, and that's the Californian town Aptos, which is the current default font in Microsoft Office. Unfortunately, no points to anybody. Difficult, admittedly, but of course, that's what gets you 15 points. We'll now move on to the final question for this round. Here's question number 8. In 2021, at the peak of social distancing norms in New York City, a certain steakhouse in NYC decided to fill empty seats with A-listers like the ones you see in the visuals and offer patrons an unforgettable dining experience. Who did they partner with to make it happen? That's Audrey Hepburn and John Hamm. Who did they partner with? Well, the time is up, and unfortunately, we don't have any takers for 15 pointers. So it is fairly obvious that Audrey Hepburn and John Hamm do not belong to the same timeline. So who would they have partnered with?
Photoshop.
Any guesses?
Photoshop.
Is it Madame Tussauds?
Is correct. Or Merlin Entertainments. This is Madame Tussauds, absolutely. So that's Jimmy, the real Jimmy Fallon. with the wax Jimmy Fallon. I originally thought I'll give Jimmy Fallon's wax statue as well, but I think Madam Tussauds, personal opinion, could have done a better job with Jimmy Fallon for me to have included it in this question, because that would have made it really, really obvious. But I thought by giving Audrey Hepburn and John Hamm, which belong to completely different eras, perhaps that could have got your brain cells ticking. So that is no points, unfortunately. And that is that for the third round. Momentum now growing and building in the direction of the Hyderabad title defender, or whether it will be for the 3 times the bridesmaid. They're on the move, but are they on the ascendancy? That's something that we will only be able to answer on the other side of this break. We'll be back shortly.
माने मार्केट बढ़िया चल रहा है नहीं, पर शेयर खरीद कर 2 वीक्स हो गया, प्राइस नहीं बढ़ रहा है।
अरे बढ़ने का छोड़, ये बता कुछ वेट घटा गया?
अभी लास्ट वीक तो जिम ज्वाइन किया है, रिजल्ट आने में टाइम लगता है।
करेक्ट, इन्वेस्टमेंट का भी यही रूल है भाई, रिजल्ट आने में टाइम लगता है।
करेक्ट है मिस्टर माने, बड़े से आने, लंबी इन्वेस्टमेंट की ही ठाने। तान धीम तान तन दे धीम तान धीम तान तन दे दे दे।
Welcome back to an encounter par extraordinaire. It's a cocktail of experience and quality. At least that's my inference from the scoreboard. Both Naveen and Adarsh pulling up and pushing and pulling en route their scores of 20 and 0. Adarsh making up for some negatives that he secured in the early part of the quiz. But you've got to admit the spirit and courage of Pankaj for pulling up and getting in between the two of them. He's currently at 10 points. The others, of course, Ayman at 0. Sorry, Adarsh is on -5. Yeah, Adarsh is on -5. Ayman on 0. Surya on -10. And Himanshu also on 0. I repeat, Naveen on 20. Pankaj coming second for now at 20, at 10. And Himanshu on 0. Ayman on 0. Adarsh on -5. And Surya on -10. The others will need to do a little more than what they've done till now. We're on to the final frontier. So attack, attack, attack would and should be your best friend at this stage. It's final round now. It's called 3 in a row. In this round, I'll be giving you 4 sets of 3 questions on the buzzer. In the ending, whether it's the last letter, last 2 letters, last 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, that's for you to figure out, is the beginning of the following answer. 10 seconds of time per question in each set. And there will be 3 buzzers per question in every set. 3 buzzers per question in every set. And if you give me a wrong answer in the first couple of questions, I will put you on the bench and I will not allow you to answer in the remaining questions on the same set. But of course, if it's the last question of the set of a particular set, then of course, you are more than welcome to continue attempting in the following set also. And I will not eliminate you from the following set. So +10, -5 for every question. Alongside the negative, like I said, you'll be benched for the set, but I'll invite you again for the following set. If I'm being harsh on the negative side, I'll be a little more lenient on the positive side. If you give me 2 answers in a set, I'll give you -5. If you give me 3 answers in a set, I'll give you 10 bonus. So for 2 answers, your 20 becomes a 25. For 3 answers, your 30 becomes a 40. We'll start and pick action with our first question from the first set. It's on the buzzer, +10 and -5, coming up on your screen now. These products were created to support what project X, co-founded by Bono of U2, to raise awareness and funds to help eliminate HIV or AIDS in Africa? On the buzzer is Ayman.
It's actually Project Red, often seen in previous iPhone editions as well, iPhone Red and all. Various other products are also in red variant. So it's basically Project Red by Bono.
Is correct. That's the answer. The answer was pretty much visible in the question. It's called Project Red. So all of these entities, Apple, Vespa, Panasonic, Fiat, Beats, all of them created red colored items. So that's well done. Aemon gets you 10 points. We'll now move on to question number 2. In its IPO filing earlier this year, Y compared its moderation approach to a democratic city wherein everyone has the ability to vote and self-organize, follow a set of common rules, and establish a community-specific norms. On the buzzer is Pankaj.
I'll say Reddit.
From Red, you get Reddit. Absolutely, that is correct. That's well done, and that's their S1 filing. It's a good answer. Pankaj gets you 10 points. So before we move on to the final question of this set, Aemon and Pankaj, both of you have an opportunity to score 15, and the others, of course, can score 10. And there will be no eliminations from this set because we don't have any wrong answers in the first couple of questions. So we'll move on to question number 3, set 1. In their language, the 4 A's, clothes, food, furniture, and automobiles, make up the 4 traditional industries of the country Z, whose brands use the Made in Z label to indicate the enviable reputation of the country. On the buzzer is Aemon.
It is made in Italy.
Italy, absolutely. From Reddit, you get made in Italy. Absolutely. The 4 A's, and allow me to make a mockery of myself when I try these Italian pronunciations. So clothes is abigliamento, food is agroalimentare, furniture is arredamento, and automobili is automobiles. That was the easier one of the lot. So the entire set was Red, Reddit, and Italy. So that's 15 points to Aemon on the ascendancy in the last round with 3 more sets to go. All right, so that's 25 points to Aemon in this set and 10 points to Pankaj. We will now move on to our second set. Of course, it starts afresh now. The first set is over. So here's question number 1. At the Bretton Woods conference in New Hampshire, these British economists proposed what standard unit of account X for the world's wealth as the UK's official proposal. The proposal unfortunately was rejected, but it is repeatedly referred to when economists these days speak of IMF special drawing rights taking up that role. On the buzzer is Naveen.
All right, I'm guessing, is it gold?
I'm afraid it's not gold. So that's -5, Naveen, and there is nobody else on the buzzer. Naveen, I'll have to ask you to sit out on the remaining 2 questions. The answer that I was looking for is Bancor, right? So Bancor was a global unit of account that they had proposed so that, because dollar faces the Triffin dilemma. And so as a result, they proposed an alternative idea. And that is something that keeps coming up every time when modern day economists talk about IMF, perhaps IMF's special drawing rights taking up that role of a global unit of account. And Bancor keeps coming up every time. Right. So that's a -5 to Naveen, and Naveen sits out on the remaining 2 questions. The other 5 on the buzzer. Here's question number 2. For a whiskey to call itself a bourbon, the mixture of grains from which the product is distilled must contain at least 51% of Y. On the buzzer is Aemon.
Is it cornstarch, corn?
Is correct. Indeed, corn. From Bancor, you get corn. It's a lovely answer. Aemon gets you 10 points. So Aemon really making a meal in this round. That's another tenner for him. We move on to the final question of this set. Everyone but Naveen can participate. Here's question number 3. Having exhibits dating back over 3,500 years, this is the world's largest glass museum. What toponymous company that is best known for the ape-like strength of its products created it? On the buzzer is Adarsh.
Corning.
From Corn, you get Corning. Absolutely. This is the Corning Museum of Glass. That's well done, Adarsh. So the complete set, the complete set becomes Bancor, Corn, and Corning. So lovely answer. Adarsh gets you 10. Aemon, you got 10. Naveen, you got a -5. But Naveen, I'll bring you back into the third set. Right. We'll move on to a fresh set, a third one. The fight is becoming really, really interesting with Ayman pulling up and Adarsh also fighting and Naveen losing a few points. We'll move on to, but still a long way to go. 6 more questions to come, and with bonuses aplenty, there's a lot that can still happen. We'll move on to set number 3, first question. What apt name did this 2022 Netflix documentary series carry that tells the fictionalized story of the birth of Spotify? On the buzzer is Naveen.
Okay, this is called The Stream.
Is incorrect. That's a -5, Naveen, and you sit out on the remaining 2 questions of the set. Question goes to Himanshu.
The playlist.
The playlist, absolutely. That was the apt name in question, not the stream. Could have been another apt name, but they decided with the playlist, and playlist is the only answer that I can accept. Naveen, unfortunately, a -5, and you sit out on the next 2 questions. Himanshu, that's very well done. That gets you 10 points. All right, we'll move on to the next question for this set. Opened last year by the city's Member of Parliament, this selfie point marks the reference point for the measurement of Y. On the buzzer is Pankaj.
IST, Indian Standard Time.
Is correct. In Mirzapur, absolutely, the Indian Standard Time. So from the playlist, you have the IST. It's the lovely answer, Pankaj. So it seems like a 3-way fight for now between Pankaj, Ayman, and Adarsh. Not taking a look at the scores live, but I'm just thinking about it on top of my head. So that's 10 points to Pankaj. And we move on to our last question for this set. Everyone but Naveen can participate. Here's your final question. Google had been rumored to be working on an internet service called Project Yeti since 2016. It was officially codenamed Project Stream. After being released in 2019, this plural named product joined the Google graveyard last year. On the buzzer is Ayman.
It is Stadia. Stadia. Stadia.
That's the plural name. That is correct. It is indeed Stadia. Absolutely. So playlist, IST, and Stadia. So after a rather lukewarm round 3, in round 4, all the players have pushed the pedal to the metal, and we have points being distributed across various corners. So 3 different players collecting 10 points apiece in this set. The first one, we had Himanshu taking 10, Naveen unfortunately taking a -5. The second one, we had Pankaj taking 10, and Ayman also taking 10 on that last question. We'll now move on to our final set, and I'll invite Naveen to come back in. Here's question number 1 of the final set. Just like the privatization of India's national airline, Air India, a couple of years ago, the flag carrier of the country X is going under the hammer this month as part of their privatization program 24 to 29, urged by the IMF in the country. On the buzzer is Pankaj.
I'll take a guess. Is it Pakistan?
And what would the airline?
Pakistan International Airlines, because they are under
Is
that.
correct, Pankaj. Absolutely, that is correct. This is the PIA also getting ready for sell-off. That's been just like Air India had a talk about sell-off for quite a while. So did PIA, and finally, they've come to the conclusion that at the end of this month, it will go under the hammer. That's a lovely answer there, Pankaj. Fighting really well. 10 points to you. 2 questions remain. Here's question number 2. The Indian Association of Tour Operators, IATO, have maintained a Hall of Fame since 1986, where they induct tourism pioneers majorly for their contribution to the tourism or hospitality industry. In the picture is an awardee from 1990 who won for introducing what delicacy to the world. On the buzzer is Pankaj again.
I'll say
All right, Pankaj, that's time up. I'll have to give you a negative. That's a -5, and Pankaj, you cannot participate on the last question. I'll take the question to Ayman.
I'll say it's tandoori chicken from TAN tandoor. So tandoori chicken, I guess it's tandoori chicken.
And who's the gentleman in question?
The people from Moti Mahal and those I think Jaggi Kundarlal Jaggi and Kundarlal Gujral, either of them.
is correct. That is the answer. It is tandoori chicken. Absolutely, Ayman. And that was Kundanlal Gujral. So that's a lovely answer there by Ayman. Unfortunately, Pankaj, I'm not too sure myself right now how impactful that negative and the sit out on the last question would be. But the fact that Ayman answered this question doesn't really make things any better for Pankaj. But that's
Can we
well
get
done,
the
Ayman. That's 10
scores?
points to you.
Scores for this question.
Okay, that's 10 points for this question.
Yeah, no, not the actual scores for this question. The what is the score right now? Can you-
Cumulative scores?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll request the console if you could help me out with the scores currently before we head into the final question. Just give me a moment. And so what we'll do is, because we're taking a look at the scores at this point, if there is anybody for whom it's mathematically impossible to win, I'll ask you to sit out on the last question. But of course, if we have a clear winner, then we'll just let everybody participate and we'll bring it to a close. Right, scores as follows. We have Naveen who's on 10, Himanshu's on 10, Adarsh on 5, Ayman on 55, Surya on 10, minus 10, sorry, and Pankaj, that negative really costed a fortune. So that's on 35. So which means we let everybody play the final question. So everybody's more than welcome to finish this quiz on a high, except of course Pankaj, who has to sit out on that last question. Here's the final question coming up on your screen now. With a trademark now owned by an American toy maker, Z, is this clever Japanese puzzle with a reduplicated name? What's the reduplicated name of this Japanese puzzle? I'm afraid I don't have any answer to that last question. So the previous question ended with the tandoori chicken. And so this is called Ken Ken, right? So this is called Ken Ken. That's the reduplicated name in question. Puzzles that make you smarter. And that is the complete set in question. So Pakistan, tandoori chicken, and Ken Ken. Right. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of day's play. With that flourish and with that rapid dispatch of points, especially in the last round, the face-off thus comes to the end, except, of course, for one very important aspect, the declaration of the results. Stay tuned, for that comes your way when we return after this break.
In a world where every move matters, the future belongs to those who see beyond the obvious. Coupled with the power of compelling insights, bold perspective, impactful reporting, and youthful energy, BusinessLine delivers the gold standard of business journalism. With sections like chart gazing, do the derivatives, and market radar that bring you unmatched credibility and an in-depth understanding of the markets. We do not just report the news. Our in-house financial analysts and experts decipher it and deliver insights you can act on. We are the only business paper that provides an in-depth coverage on agriculture and commodities markets. Apart from crucial sectors like economy, banking, automotive, IT, and more. You could be a businessman, CEO, thought leader, seasoned investor, C-suite executive, policy maker, bureaucrat, or an aspiring entrepreneur. Our expert analysis and insights empower you to make informed decisions that drive success. Our Sunday special 12-page feature, Portfolio, provides timely alerts and actionable advice on stocks, bonds, FDs, mutual funds, and more. It has been the trusted source of information for smart investors for years. With dedicated sections like Corporate File, Brand Line, Logistics, Spark, Clean Tech, and various others, we offer comprehensive view of the business landscape. Our opinion and analysis section, featuring thought leaders and industry experts, delivers perspectives that challenge conventional thinking and inspire new ideas every day. With a robust digital presence through our website and app, we engage a vast and loyal readership, delivering credible business journalism anytime, anywhere. With a series of industry and consumer connect initiatives, our curated events and podcasts bring the business world closer to the audience. For more than 3 decades, we've led the charge in business journalism, spotlighting the transformative efforts that shape the Indian economy. Stay ahead, stay informed, stay empowered. BusinessLine, where India turns to for clarity, insight, and success.
ऐ भारत हम चल पड़े किस जुनून किस शान से, जन्नत नुमा कश्मीर से आसाम के बागान से, दिल्ली का लहड़पन लिए यूपी के खलिहान से, महाराष्ट्र से गुजरात से कर्नाटक से राजस्थान से, तब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से। जय हो विजय हो देश हो विदेश हो जय के हो, जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से, जब हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से।
जेके टायर, देश का टायर।
Check, this is my temple, this is my mental peace sanctuary. The one thing I can't do without, you better hear me. Can't do without.
The ultimate biking experience is incomplete without Servo 40 Extra from Indian Oil. Servo 40 Extra from Indian Oil. Can't do without it.
सच्ची इतनी इन्वेस्टमेंट पे इतना प्रॉफिट? मैं अभी पैसे ट्रांसफर करती हूँ। सीट बेल्ट लगा लो मिस्टर माने, सेफ्टी जरूरी है।
और डॉली जी, तेरी सेफ्टी उसका क्या
मतलब? मैंने तो सीट बेल्ट पहनी हुई है।
रोड पे नहीं मैडम, इन्वेस्टमेंट में सेफ्टी
है। इन्वेस्टमेंट में कैसी सेफ्टी? वो तो बढ़ना ही है।
पक्का स्कीम जेन्युइन है या नहीं? अगर पैसा डूबा तो किसके पास जाओगी?
यू आर राइट मिस्टर माने, इन्वेस्टमेंट करते समय सेफ्टी जरूरी है।
करेक्ट।
मिस्टर माने बड़े सयाने, सेफ इन्वेस्टमेंट्स की ही ठाने।
तान धीम तान तन दे धीम तान धीम तान तन दे दे।
welcome back. In all honesty and with, of course, due respect to the competitors at Chennai and Kochi, where the eventual winners sail comfortably till the very end. Today, when these experienced acquaintances went face to face again, we were served a thrilling game, a breathless game, and a thoroughly and utterly delightful game. What a thorough and delightful show. Our second runner-up at Hyderabad from last year is our winner this year. Representing Sail Bhilai, he is Ayman Ali with a score of 55 points. Congratulations, Ayman. All your 55 points coming in the very last round. And as a result, you will occupy some real estate on stage at the national final on 20th October at the BSC in Mumbai. Congratulations, Ayman Ali from Sail Bhilai.
Thank you so much, Ajay.
Commiseration, of course, to the others. Thank you for giving us a fine display of quizzing acumen, but it wasn't enough. Perhaps another day, another time. How about Cerebration 2025? And so I extend an invite early, 365 days out. I'll see you then. Before we part, a hat tip to our viewers and partners. Presenting partner, JK Tyre. It's powered by Indian Oil. It's brought to you in association with BSc, university partner, Amity University, Bengaluru. From the team here at the Hindu Business Line Cerebration Corporate Quiz 2024, we'll see you tomorrow with competitors at Destination 4, Bengaluru at 11 a.m. Goodbye for now.